What are you doing over here? I've been looking all over for you. I thought we decided to hire somebody to get rid of your grandmother's junk.
It's not junk.
Okay, it's not junk. I thought we decided to hire somebody to get rid of it all.
No, we didn't decide that. You decided that. I just didn't say anything against it, and I should have. I'm sorry. Look, I don't want to fight. Not today. I need to take care of my grandmother's things.
If you don't want to hire someone to do it, I'll stay and help.
You don't have to stay and help. Don't.
What?
You don't have to stay and help. I don't want anyone touching her things.
But
David.
Sarah,
I need to do it myself. I'm sorry. It's just that my grandmother was a very special person. No matter how bad my day was, she always made me feel good. She was wonderful. Her hugs were real hugs, you know? Not one of those fleeting hugs with no real feeling. When she hugged me, I knew I was really loved. Now she's gone, and I'm never gonna feel that again.
I'm sorry. I didn't know how much she meant to you.
Neither did she. I never told her, and now I can't.
I'm sure she knew you loved her.
What makes you so sure?
Your hugs. I'm sure she felt your love when the two of you hugged. I know I do, when you hugged me.
Oh, David.
Can I stay if I don't touch anything?
You won't touch anything?
Not if you don't want me to.
Great. You can sit there and watch the boxes if you want. I've only got one more box, and then I'll be ready to load it all in the truck.
Do you want me to pull the truck up closer to the house?
No, you don't have to.
You don't want me touching our truck?
All right, go get the truck. My dearest Sarah,
If you are reading this letter, it means that God has seen fit to call me home. I have led a long and wonderful life. Please don't cry for me, but promise me you'll find joy in your own life. I have nothing to give you except my memories, which I have been sewing in that old checkerboard quilt since I first learned to sew, almost 100 years ago. I wish I had something more to give you. I love you dearly.
Grandma Nora.
Hey, what's the matter? Are you crying? Wow. Have you read the map and seen what it says about the quilt yet?
Not yet.
Let's read a few now. It'll make you feel better.
I don't know.
Come on. It'll only take a minute.
I still have one more box and her rocker to bring out.
Do you mind if I check out the quilt?
I guess. I'll only be a minute.
Wow. This is incredible. There are over 100 patches in this quilt, and your grandmother's numbered each one and written down a memory from her life to go with it. She's sewn her whole life into this quilt. Incredible.
We can start loading the truck now.
Just wait a minute. Sit down and read a few of these with me.
David,
Sarah, it's really something. Okay. Pick up the quilt and look in the lower left-hand corner. There should be a patch there that's yellow and gray. Did you find it?
I think so.
Okay. Listen to this. Patch number 1 is my birth.
The day I was born, March 6, 1887. The snow was knee-deep, and Father walked cross country 5 miles to fetch the doctor. The doctor came on horseback. The first day that Mother was able to get out of bed, the weather had changed and the sun was out. Father fixed the harness and then later fixed dinner. Mother bragged about what a fine dinner it was. She often commented that Father could do just anything.
But Mother became ill, and her legs started to swell. And once the swelling reached her throat, she died.
My God.
Mother knew she was going to die, so she sent to the main house for Grandpa Samuel to take care of me, and Grandpa promised her that he would. Once Mother died, I was taken to Grandpa and Grandma's house to live.
And that's what the yellow and gray patch stands for?
There's more. These are the events as they were told to me. The yellow part of the patch is made from the yellow blanket that I was wrapped in on the day of my birth. This signifies the joy of my birth. The gray in the patch represents the sadness of my mother's death and is made from an old house dress that was my mother's.
Grandma never told me any of that. It's hard to believe that this was my grandmother's baby blanket, and part of this was my great-grandmother's dress. This cloth is over 100 years old. I can't believe it.
Do you want to read a few more?
I don't think so. We should probably just load this stuff up and just...
It won't take long to load the truck. Come on, what do you say?
Well, I suppose it'll be okay.
Okay, find patch number 11.
I found it. It's some sort of coarse glue material. Very faded.
Here it is. Getting ready for winter.
We sewed strips of old carpet together until there was enough to cover the living room floor. Then we got lots of clean straw, scattered it all over the floor, and tacked the carpet real tight over the straw. After supper, we would all sit on the floor around the big heating stove, and Grandpa would tell Civil War stories. I always loved Grandpa's stories.
This ragged blue patch is made with a piece of Grandpa Samuel's old Civil War uniform and reminds me of his wonderful stories. That's unbelievable. That means that this blue patch was from the 1860s. It was in the Civil War.
Let me read some of those, and you take the map and the quilt.
You sure you don't want to load the truck?
It can wait.
Can it?
Don't give me a rough time.
Who, me?
Find patch number 21. I remember Grandma made me
A white outfit and took me to the 4th of July festivities in the city park. Our neighbor, Pete Ludwig, had a stand, and he sat me on the counter and he fed me ice cream and bananas. I got awful sick. I remember the Runkle twins were there. They were boys, but they had on long white dresses that kept falling down. I got over being sick because I was so interested in those babies. This patch is
made from part of my 4th of July outfit.
Here it is. This white patch here.
That's beautiful.
There's a solid black patch right next to the white one. That's odd.
That's patch number 22. I remember
once I told a lie. Baby cousin William is at the exploring age, into everything. And I remember saying, oh, he's into everything. Someone told my aunt what I had said, and she was angry at me for saying this. When she asked me if I had said this about William, I said I hadn't, because I thought she would never let me play with him again.
it was winter, and someone took a sled load of us children into town to a revival meeting at the Methodist church. I went forward, knelt at the old wooden bench, and prayed. Then I knew I had to confess that I had lied. That sure changed my life. I sewed a solid black patch into my quilt to remind me of my lie.
One lie in over 100 years. Your grandmother was a saint.
Yes, she was.
Hey, what's wrong?
It's just, you know,
Hard. It's hard.
Yes, it is.
Is there anything in there about your grandfather, Virgil?
Here it is, patch number 41. I remember Grandpa Samuel sold the farm when I was 21, and
We moved to town. It was 1907. Our cousin Walter moved in with us while he was attending business school. One day, Walter came home and said that Virgil Austin, who lived next door, had asked how old I was. I wondered why he had asked this, but I was kind of thrilled too. Virgil was so Tony.
Tony?
Tony is what kids today call cool. One day at noon, Virgil came to the back door and knocked.
I was washing Grandma's underwear. I was so embarrassed. He asked me to go to an oratorical contest with him. I went, and it was very interesting. That was our first date.
I've used a piece of my grandmother's old underwear to remind me of my first date with my Virgil.
Your grandmother had quite a sense of humor.
Yes, she did. She could be very funny. Once, she told me a story about a friend of hers, Maud. And Maud was going with this boy, Herman, and was leading him on. Anyway, Maud told grandmother that she was going to give Herman the bounce, as she called it. Grandmother thought this was very rude and told Maud so. Maud suggested that since grandmother felt that way, maybe she should go out with Herman. Grandmother told Maud,
I don't think so. If he isn't good enough for you, he certainly isn't good enough for me.
What a great story. Your grandmother really was someone special.
yes, she was. Our names are in here.
Really?
The blue silk patch that makes up patch number 75 may well be my favorite memory sewn into this quilt. It was taken from the dress I wore of the wedding of my granddaughter.
Sarah to her true love, David. My dearest Sarah, as you read this letter and look at the blue silk patch in the quilt, I hope you will remember what a wonderfully perfect day that was. As you stood there, reciting your vows, my mind drifted back to my wedding day and my beloved Virgil. You looked so happy, so much in love. I remember thinking, what a beautiful couple. So,
Tony.
We did look Tony, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Well, should we load the truck now, or are you ready to give me the bounce?
What are we gonna do with all this
Stuff? I think we should take it home with us. That way you can take your time looking through it all.
really? What changed your mind?
Your grandmother's quilt. She's left you quite a gift.
The best gift of all. A piece of her life.